What's going on, everybody? Doug Lane here, Fast Lane Car Care. Hey, I want to take a couple minutes. I see this question asked in the Facebook groups and stuff quite a bit. I'm going to give you like some tools that I think, if you're just starting out, it's mandatory to buy. So these are tools that I basically wouldn't leave home without if I'm going to do a mobile job. So let me strap this GoPro on and we'll get to it. All right. First things first, you really need to decide what you're gonna do. Like, do you want to just do flat glass, or I'm guessing most of you are gonna want to get into auto glass. So I'm gonna show you a couple tools you are without a doubt gonna need. One, you're gonna need a knife. You're gonna need, I'm a big fan of the red dots. I used Olfa's for years. I like that the red dot has a much smaller, we can compare the two. Look at how much larger these, I don't even know what you want to call them, divots, whatever. But look how much the knife pops out with each click. It's basically an entire segment of your blade. So when you're cutting a top edge, you may be doing this, or you may have it out like this, and you can actually ruin all three segments. So then you've got to snap off three segments after you do a top edge. Where with this one, with the NT, you can do like half clicks. See that? I don't know if you can see it, but you can get like to where you're sticking out the front half of the segment or the back half of the segment. So I feel like you just have a lot more control. You're gonna need a knife. Yeah, you can do it with a 1-inch razor blade, but don't. Seriously, they're not that expensive. You're gonna need some kind of squeegee on a handle. I'm using the Fusion Hybrid. I'm really loving it. But I've also got a red line extractor. I've also used 2 different orange crushes. I've also used the Go Doctor. I really don't like the Go Doctor. This is more of a hard plastic, and it's also got a curve to it. So when you're doing like a flat window, I don't know if you can see that, but whoops, it just doesn't seem to squeegee out all the water on the sides. That's a whole mess right there. That sucks. So you're gonna need one of those. You may also want, this is gonna depend on your budget. I'm gonna give you the bare minimums. I prefer having a Bondo card. Some people use a hard card. This is just for tacking your film on the glass so you can cut it. Also for heat shrinking. I've got slip tape on this side, and I've got worn out, I don't know what you call it, felt, Velcro, suede, I don't know, but it's worn clean off because I use it all the time. Definitely, you could get by without this, but this is a very valuable tool. And they're like a couple bucks. Little Fusion Turbo, I've got a red one, I've got an orange one, I've had a yellow one. Yellow one was honestly my favorite, but it got left in a car. And I've just never ordered it because, like I said, I've still got an orange one and a red one. These are really nice for small quarter windows. A lot of SUVs right now are coming out with those little goofy windows like your RAV4s, the Lincolns, the Lincoln SUVs. They've got a little quarter window. Passports, Ridgelines, Pilots, they all have these little quarter windows up in the front. You're going to need a little squeegee. Your 5-inch squeegee isn't going to fit. Another thing I would never leave home without is a chiseler. Doesn't matter if it's pink or white. I tend to prefer the white because it's a little bit stiffer, but I've used a pink one for years. Like I said, I just prefer the white. These things, couple bucks. Right here, your handle, if you get a nice Fusion handle, you can get a cheap eBay knockoff. I really don't recommend it. This is all plastic, so you don't have to worry about scratching any paint. It's got a little grippy bit right here. It's really nice in the hand. Even when your hands get wet, it's not slippery. A lot of those Amazon handles, they do get slippery. And I think it's like 20 bucks for this squeegee, which is double-sided, so you can use 2 different sides. And like 20 bucks for the handle. Okay, so like let's say this is 40 bucks total. You're gonna have like $2 in this, like 5 or 10 bucks in this, couple dollars in this, so we're not talking about a whole lot of money. And I know, like, up front this may seem like a lot of money, guys, when you're just starting out, But trust me, in window tinting, these tools, if you take care of them and don't lose them, they can last a really, really, really long time. So that $40, $50 that you spent can pay you back thousands and thousands. All right, let's move over to my other side here. Shank. I would never, ever try to tint automotive windows without a shank. I like my shank so well, in fact, that I've got extras. And there's even more extras. I don't know where they're at. But shanks. Scrub pads, I never ever use the green ones. Use the blue ones or the white ones. I prefer the blue ones, mainly because I buy them in a great big pack. As you can see, like this is one box right here that I've just cut down, so when this starts getting ratty and falling apart, which this is pretty close to, I just grab another one. The green ones will scratch your glass. They will scratch glass. Don't use them. They're trash. All right, moving along. Got the Tint Wiz Tri-Edge. Got a regular blue Tri-Edge. I've got a Platinum Easy Reach. And I've got a Littlefoot. And I've got a Fusion Reflex. I believe it, yeah, Fusion Reflex. Which one's my favorite? Well, it really depends on the car. This has been my favorite here recently, but sometimes door seals, window seals are too tight to really get this in. You can only get the top corner in, and that's where you're going to want to use one of these two. And the same boat, sometimes the seals are a little bit too tight to get your Tri-Edge in. I don't know if you can tell, but the Tri-Edge is just a little bit thicker in every way, and the Easy Reach is a little bit longer. So sometimes the Easy Reach is going to be the go-to for me. The only problem is with both of these, you need to kind of keep them sanded, roughed up. You know, you can do one of these deals and knock off the edges. Otherwise, they will scratch tint. So you really, like this little hook, little burr right up here, I don't know if you can see it on my fingertip. If I just stick this in, not paying attention, I can definitely scratch the tint with this. So, you know, keep these maintained, take care of them. This little guy is pretty slick, man. I really like this tool. It's kind of a hard plastic. Like I got like a rough edge right here on the back. So it's just another one of those things. You need to be careful of how you're using it, how you're maintaining it. If you just go across this with like the middle of the window right there, you're pretty much guaranteed to scratch your tint, which is a big no-no. You don't want to do that. So mainly when I use this, is just on the corners. Like, you know, you get up to the very edge of the gasket and you want to tip in, and this is pretty stiff, but it's also thin, whereas this is got a little bit more give and it's a little bit thicker. Like it really just depends on the window. But if I was starting over again and I had to pick one tool, I would pick the Easy Reach, because you're not going to find a window that's too tight. A regular roll-up window, you're not going to find one that's too tight to use this tool. Now, they're only a few dollars a piece, so me personally, I'll always have a Tri-Edge, an Easy Reach. These two are pretty much extra. I don't know how much they are. If you've got them in the budget, they're nice to have, especially the Littlefoot. I really bought this one just to try it. I'm not over the moon happy about it, but I'm definitely not upset about it. It definitely has its place, definitely has some uses. But for me, I would take an Easy Reach and a Tri-Edge for sure. What I may do, I may when I make this video, I may take get online and do a total, like, make a list in the description and have a total of how much all this stuff cost you. So now we've got our super basic toolkit. I've got a pouch, super cheap pouch. I don't know where I got it. I don't like it. I want to get a better one. These pockets are just, you know what I mean? They just flop around. And these hooks, they're useless. You can't hook anything on them because they don't stay open. They stay collapsed. So if you want to hook your sprayer on it or something, you got to kind of fiddle with it to get it open and hook your sprayer on. But this pouch is super cheap, so you kind of get what you pay for. So here's the mindset that I'm coming from. If you're just starting out, if I was just going to start my business over again, I would really focus on SUVs. Why? Because they've got short windows. They're generally pretty easy to do. The rears are usually tinted, so you're pretty much, at least in my area, just going to be doing the front 2 windows and a windshield strip. You know, you may want to focus on sedans or whatever, you know, but then you're going to have to worry about heat shrinking rear windows. Sometimes, you know, you may be enticed to take out a third brake light or take out a deck lid, and in that case you're going to need some more tools to make it happen. Nothing major, but I'm just, you know, trying to put you into my frame of mind of how I'm thinking about this. So I'm looking at, like, some of you guys, you may just want to do your own car. You might just want to do your own car. Maybe your friends or family or whatever. You have no interest in making money off of this, so you don't want to have a bunch of money in it. This right here will get you there for 99% of applications. Obviously, you're going to need a heat gun, extension cord to go with your heat gun if you're going to be heat shrinking anything. You know, I feel like glass cleaner, I feel like we don't need to mention that, because obviously you got to have a way to clean the glass. Tape measure. I like the auto locks because they stand out like this, so you can, you know, you can measure for your windshield strip. And okay, well, let's say it's 10 inches, and we go over the other side, it's 10 inches. We don't have to sit here and hold this on the glass, and then this is trying, you know what I mean? The auto locks just work out way better. This one needs some more masking tape on it, but I always mask off these. This whole tape measure is actually 4.5 years, 4 years of everyday use is showing its toll, but I mean, it still works. So moving along, I prefer dryer sheets, bar soap. I kind of go back and forth on what I like to use for my dry shrink, but really just depends. I've heard these are really toxic for you and you shouldn't use them. Bar soap is just bar soap. The only thing is, I feel like this is a little bit messier than this, because, you know, it's going to make your hands all slimy while you're doing that, but whatever. These little SOS steel wool scrubbies for prepping back windows or anything with dot matrix. Like this is what they are. Steel wool soap pads. You can get them at Walmart, Dollar General, like anywhere under the sun. You see I've got my my other dryer sheets here. You're gonna need these if you plan on doing anything with defroster tabs and stuff like that. This will really make it easier. Let's see, blades. You're gonna want some extra blades. Here's the blades I prefer. Stainless NT cutter blades. Let's see, handle with care, made in Japan. Doesn't say. A.38, I guess. I don't know if, like, these are carbon blades. They're really great for top edges. I generally am too lazy to have multiple knives. Like one in here is for cleaning, one's obviously for cutting, but I know some people will run another knife for a top edge and one for the rest of your cutting. But 13 segments per. These are also like 13 segments. I was looking on here to see if they had the angle on it, but they don't. So these are just extras. I mean, whatever you prefer. If you like the Olfa blades, get the Olfa blades. If you like the NT blades, get the NTs. I prefer the NTs. I've got a box of 1-inch razor blades for scraping stickers, you know, prepping, scraping old window tint glue off of stuff, all that good stuff. Another thing I recommend if you are new is getting at least even a 4-ounce bottle of this hydrophobic coating remover from Sun Distributing, you know, Squeaky Monkey Rewind to Raw. Some people will torch a hydrophobic coating off of the inside of the glass. I don't like using a torch on the inside. This works really great. If you don't know what a hydrophobic coating is, think like Rain-X or something like that. People will put this stuff on the inside of their windows, keeps their windows from fogging up. And what that's going to do is when you spray your window tint, or spray your window to apply your window tint, you're going to see that the moisture, it just beads up in little dots. So when you go to put your film on there, it's just going to stick instantly. It's not going to slide around. You need to get rid of that coating. All right, if you're going to be doing back glasses, if you're going to be doing cars, you need a bulldozer. No questions about it. You need one. This will slip right behind most third brake lights every time. Bonus tool is the reach. I don't use this hardly ever, but when you need it, it's the tool for the job. This will get you through 99% of back glass installs. It's bulldozer. I mean, nothing really else to say about it. If you've been around, you've been watching some tent videos, you've seen this in use, you gotta have it. So let's say that you want to get serious, like you've decided, you've tinted a couple cars, you've decided it's for you. Before we really touch into that, let's go back to our basic kit that we need. You're gonna need some kind of spray bottle, more than likely. You know, you gotta have some way to spray your slip solution. I would go with the Zep bottles. I've had the best luck with them. I've had Chemical Guys bottles. I've had all kinds of other spray bottles. The Zep bottles are readily available. I can get them at Lowe's, Home Depot. I can go anywhere and get these. And the thing is, like, these sprayers will wear out on you. I mean, it is what it is. One thing that you need to keep in mind to help you get good installs, so I don't know if you can even see it, but there's this little mesh grid in there, and that's your filter. It's really just stopping big chunks from getting sucked up in your bottle. Every time you mix up new slip solution, which when you're first starting out, it's probably going to be a lot because you're going to make a lot of mistakes. You need to rinse that bottle out thoroughly before you go mixing up new slip, because dish soap, baby soap, all that kind of stuff will kind of like coagulate basically, and you'll get chunks in your installs. So you may be perfect at, you know, cleaning the area and doing this and doing that, and the glass may be really clean, but if your solution's dirty, it doesn't matter. You're going to get specks in your film. I strongly recommend, if you're going to make you've decided that you want to do this for a living, or you want to do this for a side hustle, some kind of side business, you need to get a keg. If you're only doing like, you know, a couple cars a week, 3 cars a week, something like that, maybe just get the 1.75 gallon. But I'm going to tell you why. This is a 3-gallon keg. I'm going to tell you why you need a keg. One, we got a brass sprayer with a swivel. Inside here, it has a filter in it, and I'm not talking like those little junk filters. This is an actual fine mesh filter. It's going to block, you know, pretty much anything from getting in. Secondly, I've got an optional inline filter. You know, I like to check this every couple times, every few fills. I like to tear this apart, check it, make sure there's nothing in it. A little bit less maintenance is required than on the spray bottles. The big thing is, when I first started, I wasted a lot of time filling those spray bottles. You know, you'd hook them on, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but you hook them on your pocket or something like this, and you're walking around the car and it's banging around, and then all of a sudden it just comes unthreaded, and now you've lost a bunch of slip solution because this fell off, and it's just a mess, man. I hated it. This allows you to make a lot more slip solution at once. I mean, you're going to get better filtration. This hose has some kind of antimicrobial lining, so nothing grows in it. I mean, it's really just the way to go if you're serious about tinting, in my opinion. I don't know what the prices are now. I've had this for like a year or so. Extra filter. What else do I have? Extra filter, the custom wrap, 25 feet of hose, brass sprayer, that's an upgrade from the plastic sprayer. Everything, this is like $380 shipped. Like, I mean, you can't beat it, in my opinion. These don't break down like spray bottles. Like, I've got, literally in my other garage, I've got a box that's just spare bottles, spare heads. Some of the heads don't work right. They squeak, and they only spray like half the glass. And I mean, even when you buy them brand new, I would never just go buy one sprayer. I'd always buy 3, 4, 5 spray bottles, because sometimes the heads just right out of the box, they don't mist right. They don't give you a nice even pattern. Another nice thing about this is pressurized air. So let's see if you can see it. The air comes out with some force, and we can control that force. We can make it, I think, up to 130 psi. I usually start out about 90, and then as your solution runs out, your pressure obviously drops. Usually when I'm finished, I'm still around 30 to 40 psi, which is a lot more than you're going to get out of there. So what does that mean? We can blast a lot of the junk out of the sides of those seals way easier than with this. Now, sometimes that can get you in trouble, but again, highly recommend, if you're serious about tint, get a keg. I know I know a lot of guys are often on the groups talking about building these homemade. You can get a keg for next to nothing, but then you got to drill out this lid. You've got to get the right size Schrader valve for whatever hole you just drilled, and put that in. And then there are still O-rings and whatnot in here that need to be upgraded, or else you're not going to be able to run a high PSI. Sundistributingdirect.com is where I got my keg from, or tentkeg.com, goes to the same place. Dude, for the money, it's not even worth my time to try to jerry rig and build this with parts and pieces from Amazon. They have a lifetime warranty, dude. If anything happens to this rig, all I have to do is call Rick and say, hey man, or text him, email him, you know, whatever, message the website, whatever you got to do, and say, hey, look, this is what happened. I can get replacement parts for it. I can get anything I need readily available. I don't have to worry about buying a whole multitude of O-rings because I'm not exactly sure what size is what or what I need or whatever. It's just way simpler. If you're gonna make money with this thing, just buy it from a quality source. I guess it really doesn't have to be Sun or Tent Keg, but get a quality built keg from somebody that has a warranty. The price really doesn't matter, and I say that because you know, for your first week, that thing's gonna save you enough time and give you better results, that, I mean, it's just gonna pay for itself quickly. Now, we've covered pretty much the standard tools, what everybody thinks about if you are gonna start tinting. But I wanna show you a couple other things that I would not run my business without. Okay, one, new phone, or a good phone. We don't need a new phone, we need a good phone. I'll show you, this is my business phone now. I got a personal phone. This is new S22 Ultra. Does it have to be a Samsung? No, I know a lot of you people are iPhone fanboys. Doesn't matter. Why do we need a really high quality phone? Well, because they have really high quality cameras. So the problem with most every new business is marketing, right? Let me take this off real quick. Marketing. Every single day I see in Facebook groups, my tent shop opens next week and I don't have any customers, or how do I get more customers, or how do I do this, or how. Marketing, media. If you have really high quality pictures, I mean, look at this. If we had an old Walmart phone, you know, whatever, and just pixelated, nobody can see your work. But if you've got really high quality cameras, you know, whether it's a new iPhone, the new Android, or whatever, you got high quality photos, you can post these. And what you should have also, if you're serious about business, is a logo. You should be able to watermark every single picture you have with your logo, so that way when people see it, you know, share it on Facebook or wherever, they know whose stuff it is. Another example of my logo right here. I had a buddy of mine CNC plasma cut this and powder coat it. I mean, it didn't turn out perfect by any means. I was kind of, my logo is pretty difficult to cut. Doesn't matter if it's vinyl or metal or whatever, but it's pretty cool. So I bought it anyway. But you're gonna need a customer relations software. Once you have a good camera and a watermark, you know, logo, these are tools. Make no mistake about that. You can have the best of the best right here, and you can produce the best quality work anybody's ever seen, but if nobody knows about it and nobody sees it online, or, you know, they don't know you're there, you're gonna take way longer to grow, and honestly, you'll probably go out of business. So I got a whatever tablet here. I'm gonna see if I can't show you some stuff without showing you everything. Okay, we'll just do this. So I use House Call Pro. I know a lot of you guys are all about Tent Whiz. Here's the thing, this lets me do way more than Tent Whiz can currently. I love Tent Whiz. I did the 30-day trial or whatever. I love it. It's just lacking in a couple things. One, online booking. This software, I have a link on my website. I've got a link on my Facebook. You can go on my website or my Facebook. You can book your appointment online. I've got a whole price book. You can see everything. Let's just pop on there real quick. You can see, this isn't the exact way the customer would see it, but you'll get a really good idea of how I have this laid out. Now, for some reason on my end, this is always excruciatingly slow as far as the pictures go, but You can see we've got business services. So this is all my flat glass stuff. Why? It's mainly businesses that do it. As you can see here, I got some boot dividers that I did. Thank you, COVID. We can click on automotive. Customer can click on automotive. Now we got a mobile service charge. We can see our carbon tint, ceramic tint, color stable dyed, gift certificates. This stuff I don't do anymore, the car wash, and I don't even know what's in uncategorized, but so let's say I have this turned off for online booking. The customer won't see this, but it's still there, so I can still see it. But let's just go carbon window tint. We've got the whole price book, what it all includes. Cars, SUVs, full windshields for trucks, on and on and on. Pretty much anything you could ever do or need, we have that available to book online. TintWiz just doesn't have that. This is extremely easy for the customer to navigate, and the best part is this tells them exactly what they're getting, what percentages you have available, lifetime warranty, what that warranty includes. So when Johnny customer books his appointment and shows up, there's no, oh, well, I thought I was getting this, or I thought I was getting that, or I thought it was this much. It's just like buying something online. It tells you everything up front. And then when they hit book, that's holding them to it. Now, sometimes people will have, different questions about stuff, and they'll call me anyway and ask, and that's fine. I don't care about that. But again, that's one very, very good tool that TintWiz doesn't offer. Another one is built-in payment processing. So let's go back to the dash. I don't want to show you guys all my numbers and all that stuff, but this keeps track of anything that's past due. Like, let's say I do a job, like a flat glass job, and I send an invoice and they don't pay the invoice. Like, it'll say it's in it's a due invoice, and it'll tell you how much money you have pending. It'll tell you how much money is past due if they went over whatever they're supposed to do. This tracks all of my appointments. I run everything appointment based. I don't do any walk-ins or anything like that. So keeps track of all my appointments. I can hit click on this, and this works on my phone, on my laptop, everything. I can hit job finished, and let's just go to the schedule here. I don't think there's really any sensitive data here other than just names. And I'm guilty about not putting everything in here sometimes, especially if it's somebody I know and I know they're going to pay cash. Sometimes I just won't bother. But you can see these are all appointments that haven't been done yet. These are all appointments that have. Basically, every person has their own work order, and you can just click a button and hit start, so it tracks your time. Like, if you go mobile, it tracks your travel time. It tracks your time on the job from the time you hit start to the time you hit finished. When you hit finish, it sends the customer a text, lets them know that the car's done, and then it even drops them a review link. That's how I've gotten. I think I've got about 4 times the amount of reviews of anybody in my area, and they're all 5-star reviews. So let's go up here to apps. There's just so much you can do. I can automatically send my customers postcards, online booking, Facebook booking. It can track how much jobs actually cost you. I'm definitely too lazy to put in how many inches of film I use and all that stuff. Your reviews, and this will automatically distribute them between Facebook, Google, Instagram, whatever you have linked to it, your website. You need one of these. Like, if you're serious, you're dead serious about starting a business, you need a CRM. If you want to use TintWiz and then run Square or whatever for payment processing, you certainly can. This runs me like $181 a month. I can have multiple employees. I've got an office assistant that can also go in and book appointments and change appointments if need be. So it's super, super powerful. And analytics, guys. Like, I'm not going to scroll down and show you everything because, my numbers are my numbers. But it tracks how much you make total, how much you've made in paid invoices. So, like, if somebody pays me cash, that's not an invoice. But if let's say I'm somewhere doing a mobile job, this happened my first probably 3 years in business. I did a lot of mobile stuff. I just really don't care to do mobile stuff anymore. But anyway, let's say they're not even home. I had that happen a lot. They'll just give me a key code or whatever to get in the garage, and they'll leave money, cash in the car. or let's say they didn't leave cash, I can just hit a button, send them an invoice, and it's just like paying online for anything else. It's super, super easy. It'll track how much you made in invoices. It tracks your yearly income, and then it also tracks your monthly income. So it can say, you know, it'll show you a graph and it'll say, here's your weekly total. This is down or up, you know, from last week's total of this, or average, and you know, your average tickets. I mean, it does so much stuff. I would not run my business without it. When I first started, I bought this in, let's see, put this back on. I bought this in 2019. I started paying for this system, and back then it was like 60 bucks a month or something like that. But it was just me, just one user, really basic. It lacked a lot of the, I shouldn't say a lot of the features. I didn't pay for a lot of the features that they have now. Customer messaging here in the inbox, but once I started using this and realizing how important it was and how many extra reviews it was getting me and stuff, this is just, I have to have it. Like, it's just not an option. I would not go without having this CRM personally. If you, like I said, if you're a TintWiz person, go with TintWiz. But for me, TintWiz would be a downgrade because of the lack of online booking, the lack of built-in payment processing. I will, however, straight up tell you that it does have a lot of really nice tint-specific features that I can't make work in this. I don't have a spot for VIN numbers. I don't have a spot for license plate numbers. This doesn't calculate square footage for me, so if I go do a flat glass job, I've got to actually measure it out, you know, and figure it up manually rather than just putting the numbers in TintWiz. But it really doesn't matter. I would also say my tablet's a tool. It's a tablet. It's got its own data plan, 5G. Anywhere I go, I take this all the time. When I go do flat glass stuff, I can use a, you know, I use a pen and just use it as a notepad, write down my measurements and stuff, and then I can come in here and make up an invoice or an estimate. And you know, right here, I can send that customer the estimate, breaks down exactly what each window is going to cost, what they're paying for, what film they're paying for, all that stuff. And then they click approve. Now you've got, you know what I mean, you've got proof that they've read it, they've approved it, and you know, it can just save you some hassle in the long run. And like I said, if you're just wanting to tint a couple cars on the weekends, do a little side money, something like that, then this is, you know, this isn't going to make sense for you. But if you're serious about it, you need it. So that's all I got for now, guys. All right, so we talked about all that. Talked about, you know, tablet being a tool, your you know, your phone. Man, make sure you have good internet too, like, or a data plan or whatever. You don't want to be like not having service all day, or be dependent on Wi-Fi to do stuff, because it's just going to make you look unprofessional, plain and simple. But another thing you're going to need too is some kind of light. I really like this light. I don't know, both of these are really, really good. This one, I like being able to get back in these deck lids, which this one's not a big deal, but like the Honda Civics, they kind of, and the Accords, they kind of slump over, and so you need to get that light right up on there. I've seen the pool noodle deal, it's got like LEDs in it or whatever. You got to hook up to a jump pack. I think that's stupid. Or a customer's car, you know, plugging in a cigarette lighter. I've just had too many cars that have weak batteries anyway. Like, especially the older it is, more likely you are to have a dead battery. So I don't like that idea. Both of these are great. If I could only buy one, man, that's really tough. If I could only buy one, I think I'd probably stick with this one. This is a Milwaukee M18 Rover. It flips around. You can put it in a bunch of different ways. You can stand this up on the center console and aim it up for doing your strips, or lay it sideways if you're in a really tight deck lid. It also has magnets and clips. Like, this metal piece can clip to like a 2x4, but really doesn't make, you know, it doesn't matter for us. Biggest thing is, that's why I tape these magnets, so if they do end up getting some kind of grit or junk on them, you can just peel this off. You don't have to worry about scratching customer's car or tracking metal through their deck lid or anything like that. Leads me to another thing you're probably gonna want, especially when you first start, is some kind of a jump pack or a battery charger. This is one that my dad got me for Christmas like years ago, and I absolutely love it. It's great for power outages and stuff. You got a cigarette lighter, you got a 110 volt. Right now it's 71%. Like it doesn't go dead very fast at all. You can throw this on a car and it'll tell you the voltage, like, so you can tell for sure if the battery's weak or whatever. And then you click that button over and it'll give it power. So, you know, basically this works as a second battery. A lot of those jump packs, that's all they are, is a jump pack. You got to hook them up, and you got, like, you know, 30 seconds, 45 seconds or whatever to start the car, and then it cuts power. This is basically just a second battery. You can hook this up on there, on the car, turn it on, you know, operate your motors, your windows and everything, do what you need to do, and then hit the key, start it up, let it run, turn this off, and, you know, whatever. I also have a battery charger. I almost never use it. It just really doesn't make sense. For me in my business, this is just faster. It's easier. You don't have to trip over a cord or plug it in or anything. If you're gonna run a keg, you're gonna need some way to fill it up, whether that's an, you know, Milwaukee inflator or an actual air compressor, you know, whatever. I like having that inflator, because if I'm on the road doing a mobile job or whatever, then it's, you know, it's simple enough. It's battery powered. I don't have to lug around an air compressor. Takes a few extra minutes, but it's really not a big deal. So towels, I feel like that's self-explanatory. I feel like that goes right along with glass cleaner. You're gonna need some way to clean the windows. Try to get decent quality ones. I like the Sam's Club towels, honestly, for what they are and for what we're doing with them. I feel like they're great. They last a long time. I don't feel like they are necessarily good enough if I was detailing all the time still. I feel like they're not as soft and not as absorbent. But like I said, for just cleaning glass and cleaning, you know, wiping down door panels and stuff, they are more than sufficient for that. I've got a couple batches of them that are a couple years old, and they work. You know what I mean? They're starting to get stained up, they're starting to get dirty, so I need to start rotating them out. But for now, they're pretty good. Especially like Sam's Club, for the amount you pay for them, they're really, I mean, you can't beat them. So heat gun, we'll just touch on it real quick. I just run these Wagners, man. They're like 20-25 bucks from Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever. I usually buy 2 or 3 of them at a time. I'm not easy on them. I drop them, I throw them on the ground. You know, if we're over here doing a window, or I'm up here heat shrinking a strip and I need to, you know, do something with my hand, that's what I do with it. I'm not gonna lie to you or sugarcoat it. I'm not easy on them. If I get 6 months out of them, I'm good. But it kind of goes back to the keg. It kind of goes back to, bless me, kind of goes back to everything else. This $25 investment can make you thousands. So I feel like if I got 6 months out of it, you know, we're talking somewhere around 150, 200 cars. I don't use it on every car. Obviously not every car has windows that need shrink, but you know, you break that down, cost per car, your pennies. So really not a big deal. Another thing, if I was serious, it's not really a tool. We'll just throw this in as the last bonus thing. Not really a tool per se for tinting, but for sales, this is amazing. A heat box demo. Get one. GeoShield has these for like 45 bucks. Ask them for extra glass. You know, everybody that I've had put their hand in front of this and tell the difference between regular color stable tint and ceramic has been amazed. It's helped me sell a couple of ceramic jobs, and I don't even push it. That's just when people come in and drop off their cars or whatever, I'll say, hey, you know, check this out. You know, this is the difference. This is why it's more expensive. The whole theory is they'll go tell their friends, talk about it and stuff, and, you know, just good marketing. I have some plans for some YouTube videos and stuff, Facebook videos with this. It's just, you know, a matter of time and everything else. We're getting merch set up, getting some other stuff set up. So it's kind of like one of those back burner things I got planned for, but I need to, you know, actually make it happen. So that's all I got, guys. Hopefully you've learned something. You know, a lot of this stuff in here I don't use every day. You know, Ford mirror puller, Ford mirror removal tool, and a mallet. You know, if I was just starting out again, I probably would not remove Ford mirrors. Ford mirrors are the only windshields I've ever broke. Only ever on Ford Explorers. And if you're just on the side doing this for some beer money or whatever, a $300-400 windshield is really going to put you in a bad mood for the rest of the week. And if you don't have business insurance because you're just, like I said, doing it on the side, or you don't have the cash flow to cover that, I mean, it can really mess you up. It can really ruin what you're trying to start. So I would probably not do that again. So what else? Different panel pullers and stuff like that. I mean, there are some cars that I know that it's just easier just to pull them out, pull the window, the little, like these little quarter windows out of some cars, like your Honda Civics and stuff like that. It's just way faster. If I was, again, just starting out, I don't know if I would want that risk. School glue, if you know, some of the thick dot matrix lines, this will come in handy. You can tint your windows normal. Well, like some of them, like this is bars, grids, or whatever, but some cars like Mustangs will have it'll be dots all the way down here, and Focuses, Fusions, whatever. You can tint your windows normal, and then you'll take your tint and you'll peel it down after you've squeegeed it all out. You'll run a bead of glue across there, and then you'll just squeegee it out with some shop towels to catch all the mess. It's waterproof, or water-based, I mean, so you can clean it up really easy. Housewrap tape, great for taping off felt seals, but also great for if you're doing full windshields or back windows. Say you get a little hair or something in there, you can peel that film out gently, take a little piece of this, stick it on there, and peel that, whatever that imperfection is, out. It doesn't work every time. Sometimes you get more trash in it than when you started, but it's better to try that and see if it works rather than just peel off your whole window and have to redo it. Impact, again, this goes along with taking door panels out and taking little windows out, stuff like that. You're going to need T20 Torx. If you're going to do windshield strips, T20 Torx. Most of your cars will have a T20 Torx to remove the windshield, or to remove the rearview mirror off the windshield. It's going to make life way easier. I personally have a whole set of Torx. I've got a whole set of Torx screwdrivers. I don't know, like T10 all the way up to like T30, or what's this big daddy here? Yeah, T30. Then I've obviously got my Phillips and stuff. And you don't have to have tool truck tools. Like this is 100 and I don't know. I don't even want to know. It's really expensive. It's a really expensive set of screwdrivers. I could buy like 5 Tecton sets, both. Well, actually, this is made in the USA. These are Taiwan, unfortunately. I really like buying stuff made in America. But I also, for whatever reason, if I needed more Torx, man, I've got T6 up to T8 up to T55 here, and I've got a whole hex, metric standard hex, external Torx. I got a whole set. You don't need all this stuff starting out. This is just stuff that over the years I've accumulated, and whatever. Sockets, go get you a little 1/4-inch set. It's going to do anything you need on the interior of the car. You don't need tons of ratchets, impacts, all that stuff. But it's nice to have if you ever do need it. But yeah, alright. So now 100%, we're done. I got work to do. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.